From the moment you made me avocado toast at work, I knew you were the one. Well, it was the avocado toast and Bowie that truly sealed the deal for me 6 years ago. Since the day we met, you've been my best friend, my partner in crime, my biggest cheerleader, and my +1 to every event, including this one. I don't think that 3 words will ever truly express how I feel about you, how I feel about us, and how I feel about our new little family. Ryan Lawrence Rogensack, aka Mystery Man Larry, I love you. I love you today, I will love you tomorrow, and I promise to love you forever. I want you to know that I will always be there for you when you need a shoulder to cry on, for when you need someone to just listen, and for those really hard days when you just need a good squeeze and a kiss on the forehead to reassure you that everything will be all right. I've got your back, and I know you've always got mine. Speaking of promises, here are some things I promise and commit to today. I promise to always spritz your face with fancy French grape water before bed. I promise to remix every song in my head and make them about Bowie. I promise to take 1,000,000 photos of our meals before the food actually gets cold. I promise not to be totally embarrassed when I mispronounce words like paradigm and alibi.
Paradigm and alibi.
I promise to be the best wife, friend, and corgi mom. I promise to love you more every single day from this day forward. And this promise might be the most important one. I promise to stop randomly singing "I Got My Peaches Out in Georgia" every time it magically pops into my head. I love you, Ryan. I love you with everything I am, everything I've been, and everything I hope to be. Thank you for choosing me as your wife. I can't wait to spend the rest of our lives together.
As this day has gotten closer, I found myself thinking of our relationship and the 6 years that led us to this moment. You know, I'm a person who likes to put events into context to try and make sense of it all. I think about the places we visited, the movies we've watched, the dogs we've petted, and of course the restaurants we've tried along the way. Think about the health issues we've helped each other overcome, about us diving headfirst into an insane real estate market and finally being able to start a home together. And now we're up here, officially starting our life together. I like things to make sense, and us meeting in the first place is such astronomical odds that it's hard to believe. That your family would go from Tibet to India to Nepal and finally to, of all places, Salt Lake City, Utah. And then my family would come from all over Europe to all over the United States and finally to, of all places, Salt Lake City, Utah. Both sides were seeking the same thing, which is opportunity and a good place to raise a family. It's wild to pull back and see how we lived our lives in what appeared to be parallel. There's so many near misses throughout the years, but our paths were moving closer and closer, until finally during a 3-month window in late 2015, where our paths finally crossed at, of all places, a soon-to-be bankrupt marketing agency. I've never been one for the old love cliches like love at first sight, and I'm guessing you might not be either, aside from the avocado toast. Or you really were into a jet-lagged goofus wearing purple pants. I remember meeting you at Stretch Time thinking, oh, new designer seems pretty cool and pretty cute, but left at that, obviously, I didn't want to date anyone I worked with, but I kept hearing people talk about you, how hard you worked, how low-key funny you were, and how you listened to gangster rap. And Lala was a huge foodie, Yelp Elite. Whoa. And the more I got to know you, the more I thought, hey, maybe I'll ask her out when this place finally goes under. If I had known what I know now, I would have personally burned that place to the ground and asked you out the day I met you. But I don't believe in love at first sight and arson, so our love wasn't built overnight. After I left that job and we started dating, I kept thinking, wow, she's so cool. I can barely even pretend to be cool enough for you or good enough for you. But everything I heard about you from our friends and coworkers was true. I didn't know I loved you at the start. What I did know was that I loved how thoughtful you were, how sneaky hilarious you were, and how much effort you put into your relationships with the people in your life. And I saw how much you loved my dog Bowie, which was huge and probably a big reason you said yes to our first date. I knew I loved these things about you, and I prayed to one day build that type of relationship with you. You had a beautiful soul, and I wanted to be the type of person that deserved to be with someone as kind and driven as you. As our relationship went on, I started seeing glimpses of the person I would eventually fall in love with. It was the Lala I saw when we were trying a new food truck with Yasmin James, when you were telling a joke to your family at dinner and would then later translate it for me so I wasn't left out. Or when a new Drake or Justin Bieber song was out and you would dance and play it into the ground. And we got there. I don't remember a single moment when I knew, but I do remember one day realizing, oh, Lala is super cool, but she's also a massive dork. And I don't think a lot of other people get to see that side of her. I felt honored, like I was a special club of people that got to know that Lala. And I also felt a huge wave of relief as I was also a massive dork, and trying to be as cool as you was an impossible task. Building this relationship with you has been the most rewarding journey I've been on in my life. Like I said earlier, I like things to make sense. When I looked at our journey together and its impossible odds, I thought it didn't. I was too lucky, it was all too random. But seeing how the world around us has changed in the last 6 years, I now realize our love is the only thing that makes sense to me anymore. A few weeks ago when we were going through our old photos together, it was a little bittersweet. I got to see you back in Nepal as a little curly-headed goofball, as a middle school punk in a Ramones shirt, and as 17 Magazine's best dressed teen in high school. I got to see snapshots of your life growing up and couldn't help wishing that I could have known every version of you personally. And then I saw the photos of me as a curly-headed goofball in California, as a little middle school punk in a Nirvana shirt, and as Elk Ridge Middle School's best dressed student of 2005, and I realized I'm glad you didn't know me until I figured all that shit out. I'm happy that when our lives finally crossed, I was the person I was and you were the person you were, and that we were ready for each other. And I'm beyond happy that even though I didn't get to know you in that part of your life, we get to spend the rest of ours together. Since these are my vows and I've been talking for a minute, I should probably start making some vows. I promise to help you be the person you want to be, to communicate what I need and to listen to what you need from me. And maybe most importantly of all, I promise to keep singing parody songs of Bowie's butt with you because our dorkiness knows no bounds. Lala, I love you beyond these words, and I can absolutely promise I always will.